Hey guys, Evan Oric here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a fan review show episode on my friend Jarvara Productions' fan film, Areshuva, The Destruction of the World. So anyways guys, this is now the second fan review show episode I'm doing this year. So anyone who doesn't know any knowledge, this is some quick context. Jarvara Productions has been working on this film of his for a very, very long time. He's been joining my live streams frequently, where every so often he would say, I'm now 70% done with the movie, 80% done with the movie. And finally, he was recently able to finish it and upload it, and I watched it, and now it's my job to review it. So let's get straight into the pros with this fan film. First pro that I'd have to give this movie is the stop motion. First things first, we already find it hard enough to make stop motion with action figures that have articulated joints, but Jarvara took it a step further by making his own claymation figures. Of course, this goes into the idea of creating your own original kaiju designs, something not every kaiju filmmaker does, and which I give him great credit for. The designs of these kaijus really look nice. I like the flagrant colors of all of them, making them all stand out. And the stop motion, of course, because they were soft and made out of clay, looked really smooth, and I can only imagine how long it took you, but really pulled off at the end, so nice job on that. Next pro I have to give you are the effects. Now, I would much rather see you take effects maybe off of Production Crate or through the editing software that you use, of course, assuming they offer it. But for the fact that you used it on Stop Motion Studio, the effects are actually really good. Recommend you use websites that offer you effects for free or maybe even pay, but of course, that's a whole other thing because, money. Finally, one of the major pros, other than of course much smaller pros, which if I went into we'd be here for a long time, is that the lighting was very good. Appreciated this atmospheric purple bluish lighting that kind of took over most of the film rather than this plain yellow lighting, which I think I would have eventually criticized if I saw too much of it, considering how this movie was an hour long. So again, I really enjoyed the choice of lighting used in this movie, like the flamboyant colors, again, not just of the kaijus themselves as I mentioned, but with the lighting right above the sets. So let's get into the cons of this fan film. As always, the cons in this fan film are going to obviously bring down the rate quite a bit, but it's nothing that I believe he can't fix for the next movie that he makes. Let's start off with the first major issue of all in this fan film, and that is there are no voice actors. I remember he and I would go back and forth in these live streams where he would mention that he agrees that there should be human characters, and he actually predicted that in some level or whatnot, I would be criticizing the way he handled the human characters in this fan film. I actually do think there was a frequent amount of scenes involving them which made me happy, but the issue is I wasn't able to hear their voices. This is a constant issue that I see with a lot of people who think that captions, can really substitute voice acting, which I don't really think works at all. The fact of the matter is, if we go into a movie theater now, we're not going to watch a movie in which the characters are muted, but we only see their captions at the bottom. We hear them. I mean, this isn't the silent movie era anymore. Next major con with this movie is that there are way too many kaijus. Now, I want to make clear, the amount of kaijus in this movie are, of course, really just his original kaijus, which I think is a great step up for anyone who's making a fan film. When you make a fan film, and at that point, it's really just your kaijus. It's not even a fan film anymore. It's really your own film because you haven't, taken the idea from something else. However, it still doesn't change the fact that, like I see in Godzilla fan films, having too many kaijus, at least for me, is too much of an annoyance because, especially with kaijus in this case that I don't even know because they are your original designs, I often forget who's who and which kaiju is what if you end up having more than at least 4 kaijus in the film. That's right, rather it should be an original film or a fan film. I don't believe there should be more than 4 kaijus in a fan film. If you're going to include more than that, I think it should be for the purpose of maybe a flashback, or we're talking a few seconds. Definitely should have only 4 as far as the main kaijus are concerned. The next major issue with this fan film is that I feel like the sets were good, but needed to be improved. First things first, I am no saint when it comes to this. People would criticize me just a few years ago for my sets. And one of the common things they would always say is that I would use towels as the ground, which, even though I'm not doing that anymore, is actually what I think you're using for your sets. So that's only one example of how you can improve sets. You could also have unique backgrounds where you paint skies, paint sunsets, all that. And plus with the lighting, which as I said is very good, you can have yourself a fantastic set that is improved from the way it looks right now. As far as the final con is concerned, and of course we're now entering the nitpicks, I think this movie was, as you might obviously expect, too long. I've probably told you this in live streams before, but the amount of time I think a fan film should be is a solid 15 to 30 minutes. Anywhere around that range is, I think, a decent amount of time for a fan film because I really don't think there's going to be a person out there who, unless they're a very, very loyal fan, is gonna stick to watching a film that's over 30 minutes. If you have a film that's an hour long, especially, or more, you're gonna definitely have almost all those viewers skipping through it to get to the really entertaining parts, which is not really a good thing because you could accidentally have them miss an important scene through them skipping it by having it be too long. In total, I would rate this movie a 7.2 out of 10. Really find it enjoyable, and I do think for a first fan film, a first major fan film of his, definitely far better than my own first fan film, a few other friends of mine's first fan film. Really good start, and like I said, cons I've mentioned are easy fixes. Of course, maybe not too easy, but easy enough to the point where I think you could definitely improve them in the next one. That being said, I hope you guys watch Jarvara's new fan film. The link will be in the description below. Of course, subscribe to his channel as well. He's a great person. Thank you for watching this fan review show episode. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.